Alright, so this is a follow-up video. I just did a video on how to change the front brake pads, which, as you can see, the car has new front brake pads. I also did the rear rotors, as well as I had to do the caliper, the rear caliper, because this one was sticking. This is the one that was sticking. So I finally got the right part from the parts guys and got it in there. I bled it one time over already, but I just found out I did the sequence wrong. So I just pulled up the manual and I have the right sequence, which is right up here. So front left, front right, rear left. So we're going to do that now. So this thing right here is basically, it's a one-man brake bleeding system. So you have your pump, your pneumatic pump, and then you have your nipple here that goes onto the actual bleeder. And basically all you do is you stick this thing on the bleeder nipple, you crack the bolt, and you pump it, and then you just suck the air out of each tire, each caliper. So, let's find my right wrench. Alright, so let's put a little bit of light in here so it gets a little bit better. Alright, so I got my my bleeder tool. I'm going to pop the cap off of the bleeder valve. This is an Acura 02 Acura RSX. I think for the most part, most Hondas and Acuras have a 10mm bleeder bolt, but I could be wrong. Usually they keep their standards from car to car. I've already cracked this one, so it's pretty easy. But sometimes you might have to use a breaker bar or something more stable to get it cracked in the beginning, depending on how old the car is. But this is an 02, so some of the bolts are a little bit tricky. So by the sequence from the repair manual, we're going front left first, and this right now is closed, so it's tight. The bleeder bolt is tight. So I'm going to crank on this. So I have about 55 psi, and then I'm going to release it, and you can see it coming out, all the bubbles. And then you want to do this maybe like 3 or 4 times. Basically repeat the same process for each caliper. And you want to make sure too that you have enough fluid up in your reservoir. Mine's already starting to dip down a little bit, so you just want to make sure you keep replenishing that. And I'm using .3. Alright, so this is brake number 2, which is the front right, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing I did with the first brake. I just pump, release. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's definitely some air in there. And you want to make sure that when you're pumping this thing, that the bleeder screw is on there tight, because you don't want to be yeah, you don't want to do that. because what will happen is when you release, you're gonna push air into the system, which is counterproductive to what you're trying to accomplish. Alright. So that's right from 1, 2, 3. So now I want to do the right rear is the third. Okay, so this is the freshie. This is the caliper I actually had to replace. So again, this one's brand new, so it's going to be easy to crack this. So we're going to pump it. Release. Tighten. Pump. 65 psi. Release. Tighten. Release. Tight. Pump. Release. Tighten. So the last one is going to be the rear left. So this one has the cap on it. I think the first one had the cap. Some of them don't, just because I've been messing with them. So this is the last one. Hopefully the pedal will be nice and tight. Release, tighten, but it's really a lot easier when you actually have your wrench on it. As you can see, you see it better that way. Pump. Release, tighten, pump, release, tighten, and again make sure that your reservoir and your master cylinder in the engine compartment is still full. Obviously it won't be, but I mean it actually doesn't really drain that much. I mean, this tiny thing is it's like a sperm donator cup. Not really. It's actually smaller than that. Ha 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 ha. Okay, one more time after this. 1, tighten, and then 2, last time. My hand's getting cramped. Alright, last one. Boom. Bing, bang, boom. Pow. Bung cow. Chi chow. Once you're done bleeding, you want to basically get inside the car, start it up, make sure all your bleeder screws are tight, and start the car up, and just make sure that it's nice and tight. You don't want like any play. You really don't want the pedal to sink like at all. If you feel it, I mean, it should be right at the top. If you feel it squish down, like it, it's squishy and it's going down to the floor, it means basically, there's either something wrong with your system, your master cylinder is bad, there's a bad seal in there somewhere. But this seems pretty tight, so looks like we got it good this time. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.